Now it seems like Scobie has a plausible chance of getting past the Williams. He chooses the outside line into the chicane. Can he brave it out around the outside? He can! Oh, Scobie! That is utterly sensational. That is utterly sublime. But here comes Scobie. He started this race from last. Logic deemed it fanciful. Logic deemed it fictional. But Scobie has just gone from last to first in a race of true mastery. He conquers the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Atomic Drax will be coming through, so hopefully they'll be able to get out of his way. Oh, and he's crashed into the concrete wall. He lit up the rear tyres, and Atomic Drax's qualifying session lasted only a few moments. He has written off the right front of his Haas car just less than 0.2 of a second. As they go into turn one, the AlphaTauri does want DRS. And he does get a very healthy exit indeed. He is chasing down the Aston Martin. That rear wing gets larger and larger, and it's now behind him as the AlphaTauri advances into the lead. The Red Bull is going to look to the inside. He then dives to the outside. Again, he's so late on the brakes, but he goes around the outside, and that is a sweet, sensational move from the Red Bull. We have side-by-side action amongst the front two again. It looks like a first space chance. They move around the outside. They make contact. They've both got onto the gravel there, and they have spun themselves out of contention. We have drama out of the front already. Drama from day one in PFL. And he leads. The Red Bull leads by 2 seconds out in front, and it's a spin. It's a spin for Scobie. Oh, he's going to hit. He's going to hit the Alpine, and they thunder into one another. Going into Stowe corner. Dublin has been let through then by his teammate. Weil now around the outside of the McLaren. That's a masterful move there from the Aston Martin, and he's reaped the rewards. He's up into 12th place. But he's surely going to have a chance now down the Hangar Straight. He's almost pushing the Haas down the straight. He's now going to try and choose the inside line into Stowe corner. Is he going to make his move? The AlphaTauri down the inside. He braves it out. And Rain F1 showing the richness of his racecraft there. He's up into 4th place. He is on a move. That's a gorgeous exit from the Haas. He's surely going to have the legs on the McLaren to get up into 8th place. Yes, he does. Later on the brakes with more speed down the straight. Oh, he loses the rear. And he smashes into the wall and out of this race. The Mercedes there can see where he defends into the inside. What's he going to do? He's going to pull to the outside, and he makes the move. That's masterful. That's majestic. That's marvellous there from Merc Fusion. He's struggling. The Alpine of Gupta wants to pounce in on him, and Matsuba is struggling again through the final corner. Could Grace Warrior make these 2 passes in a split second? He looks to the inside of Tarzan. Is he able to make it stick? The Ferrari in his home race being cheered on by his home crowd, but he isn't able to see 2nd place. But Matsuba has really lost out there, losing 2 places in the space of 1 straight. And who's going to hold him up, unfortunately. Oh, no gatekeeper. He has wandered off into the wall, and that Alfa Romeo is a wreck. To think about Dumbest Basket has gone for a spin through the final corner, but here comes Anthony around the outside of Tarzan. So aggressive, so well executed. And wow, what a move from Anthony for P6 on the roads. But what an exit Grace Warrior has. He's going to look to the inside into turn 7. We haven't seen this move all race, but Grace Warrior, with such aggression and such precision, makes it work. Theo loses out there, but he loses out to a terrific overtake. Can the Alfa Romeo get a good enough exit off of turn 3 to cause the McLaren a problem? No, Gandalf has created his own problem, and now he has shadows breathing down his neck. They're going to rage on towards turn 7. Is the Mercedes going to opt for the outside line? He does, and he dances and dazzles around the outside. Shadows showing the richness of his racecraft to absolutely rage past the McLaren. His race revive has started, and it has started with a resplendent overtake. Ellie is wary of the threat that Revokes poses on towards turn 3. The McLaren is going to look for the inside line. He breaks impossibly late. Oh, so slick, so smooth, and just so silky from Revokes there. And he improved through the first sector where we lit up the rear tyres off the exit of turn 7. That is going to do him no good, and he's found the wall. He was riding by the limits, but through the castle section, he did go over it, and he has been punished severely. And he is now up into 7th place. Oh no, Theo is going to find the wall. He has wrecked the rear of his McLaren, and he has wrecked his race chances. He is out of the race as Monza once more bites the drivers harshly. Seems improbable to him. It's Connor now. He thunders into the wall. That is a perturbing incident there for Connor, who has had a violent smash into the wall formation now, but Race Warriors really closing on Theo towards Ravazza. He's got a chance to move down the inside the Ferrari. The prancing horse is galloping towards Ravazza and seizes 8th place. Great move, great commitment from Race Warrior. Have you thought, have you pondered, have you questioned, have you wondered what extraordinary entertainment looks like? Well, invest your interest of the next 35 laps for the Canadian Grand Prix around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And we're racing in Canada. KG getting off the line, but struggling as well. He's going to be eaten alive by the 2 McLarens. One to the inside, one to the outside. And it looks like Dublin is going to dance and dazzle around the outside to take the lead of the race. The Haas struggles off the line, concedes the lead. What was a bedazzling first lap could get even more brilliant, even more blistering for the Alpine driver. He is opening the gates to Silverstone, and he is opening the gates to supremacy. He has been a joy to watch in the past few weeks. He has laid down his presence in this championship, and he extends his pole margin by 8.5 tenths. That was masterful from Gupta. Wow, that Alpine was just a blur, raging through the famous corners of Silverstone. But Matsubo leapt off the line. He rocketed into the lead, and Gupta's dominance in qualifying is being questioned. But Matsubo not getting the best exit through the loop section, and Gupta steals back the lead. Brilliant racing between the 2 championship rivals. The AlphaTauri looks to the inside of Brooklands. He is not able to make an impression. But wow, what a start. Drama from the opening metres of this race. And while it seemed that Matt had the initiative, Gupta stole it back. No, he hasn't. He has severely damaged his tyres as Theo and Dummy's basket going side by side into Maggots and Beckett's. It was perilously close to cataclysmic contact, but the Ferrari surges past and now occupies 8th place with Dummy's basket. He's not going to lose sight of that 8th place for too much longer. He's going to look to the inside of Stone Corner, side by side into one of the most glorious corners in the world. But Theo, with glorious racecraft in his arsenal, manages to keep Dummy's basket at bay. Testament to the peerless skill of our PFL drivers. But now it is Isaac's turn to test the skill of his racecraft. He darts down the inside of Stone Corner, but revokes around the outside. Incredibly committed, and he keeps the Aston Martin at bay. Just madness, utter madness here at Silverstone. But Gupta, as his home faithful bow towards his brilliance. The sunny Silverstone has now taken over the stage, but Gupta, as he rounds Club Corner, there really is no place like home for the Alpine driver. He wins the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. They have ignited in the most inspirational battle. Could it be just a few corners away from championship success for Gupta? He has a promising chance. He has DRS. He's going to pull to the outside for Boats. And the championship could be his. Rebokes is going to concede the race lead on towards turn 27. He's going to slot in behind. And as they put down the power through the final corner, the night, the race, the championship belongs to Gupta. He stands above the rest in PFL Tier 1. And he soaks in the grandest, the most supreme of celebratory sensations. Lil Gupta is your champion. How do you define a champion? Supreme speed, scintillating and racecraft, consistency, and so much more. Hydrant has ticked every single box in this, the first ever sprint championship in PFL. But as he rounds the final corners, he sees the checkered flag. It is sprint supremacy for Hydrant. He wins the sprint championship here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. He wins the race by 8/100ths of a second, despite that 3-second time penalty. It is Hydrant's championship to enjoy. Races towards Nick in his pursuit of second place. Is he going to launch an attack into turn 9? He's going to look to the outside. He breaks impossibly late around the outside. Minx is going to battle past the Ferrari of Nick, and the sharpness of his racecraft has pierced Nick's occupation of second place. Precision at its very finest. And there's Chonk and Technic Speedy igniting in battle the AlphaTauri around the outside. He chances the move. Is he able to make it stick? He puts down the power and he races away from the Alfa Romeo. Technic Speedy. It is stellar. Simply sensational. He got his elbows out and he used it to absolute effect. So crisp, so classy, and just so clean. The AlphaTauri providing what may have been the overtake of the race. Oh, he's closing in so very much on the Mercedes into Stowe corner around the outside of Stowe. Can he make this move stick? The Mercedes fighting back to the inside, but into Vale now, the Haas to the inside. Does he make third place his own? Not just yet. The Mercedes defending valiantly from the Haas. Through Club now around the outside goes the Haas, and the move, and third place is his. But round the final corner, Gupta slows down, so he's not going to improve. So the destiny of his pole position lies in the hands of Briefing Cow. The silver arrow has been rocketing through each and every corner of the circuit of the Americas. He held provisional pole earlier on in this qualifying session, and he snatches it back in a glorious, glitzy and glamorous way with a breathtaking lap. He was using absolutely everything in his racing arsenal to remain ahead, but into turn 1 now, the Ferrari is a dauntless dive to the inside. Can Horrigby execute this opportunity? Kurdrae is going to try and fight back through turn 2 now, and you can see Horrigby to the inside. Can he again claim the upper hand in this battle? He can. Briefing Cow down the inside. Does he look to take the lead? Gupta is forced to the outside. Is he going to have to concede in this battle? He taps Briefing Cow, and the Mercedes put into a spin. Melodrama arises here in Austin. A twist. A teasing, trembling twist takes hold. The two race leaders, who have been going absolutely flat out since the green flag, have come to bitter, bitter blows. As M7 Lenyon, pressurising by Derek the Haas, up into the podium places, blasting and powering past the Williams. Into turn 1, oh, he's been hit. He has been hit by Derek, and he slams the wall. Incredible comeback was being conceived by the art of M7 Lenyon's driving, but he has been deprived of it in a moment of ineffable dejection. Into the lead, and it seems like he's got a very healthy restart, utilising the toe down the start-finish straight. He looks to pull to the inside of Tarzan, but no move is going to be able to come about. Raz around the outside of Rigraff. The Red Bull looks to penetrate past the prancing horse, and Raz, proving a delightful move can be made at this safety car restart. It's Stride Dublin mounting a charge on Cushy. This is a three-way battle for 7th place. On board there with Dublin around the outside of turn 3. He chances a move around the outside of turn 3, and as he puts down the power, he races away from the prancing horse. Crafted with calculation, executed with exactness, and Dublin delivering delight on Dutch soil. Defence has been superb so far, but Dublin closes in. He isn't able to make the move into turn 1. Travis Thor now around the outside of Adow. We've seen so many battles into this corner. This is yet another one, and this one is going to land in the favour, it seems, of the Aston Martin. But the AlphaTauri still, somehow, some way, remains in the battle. But this green machine has glittered from round 1 to the final race of the season here in Abu Dhabi. And under the lights, it is the green machine, the glittering machine of Gupta, who dances in the dark in Abu Dhabi and comes home to round off his season of title supremacy with yet another win. ability forged with consistency, majesty met with mastery. This man was a tour de force. Igniting, inspirational, a gallery of greatness in which he tackled the circuits of the world and dominated in his demonstrable ability. And an agonising start gets even worse. Oh! Tech support journeying into the barriers. He joins Elite Alpha on the sidelines. After starting from P10, it has been a race of sizzling splendour underneath the Suzuka sun for Stefan. He powers to success here at the Japanese Grand Prix. Coming to the conclusion of this race, it's been nail-biting, it's been blistering, it's been pulsating. But as Gupta rounds the final corner, it's going to be 7 wins out of 7 at the start of this season. It's Gupta's race again, and the man is just extraordinary. He's electrifying, and he is something to be feared. Again, and again, he is victorious. Shadows passing the J-Lob as our eyes are pierced upon this battle for 4th place. McCarthy to the inside of Maximoff, they run side by side, fractionally close to one another. But Travail, the Red Bull breaking around the outside, can he execute this move? It seems like as Maximoff looks to fight back, he can't fight back enough. It is a bliss of bravado from the Red Bull. In his final lap, in his final push lap of the season, Colborne may just stand on the brink of success here in EULR. And as he crosses the line, he finds pole position. Through the hardship, through the exigence of this session, the measure of a champion was ready to be defined. And Colborne may just be granting himself the best possible chance to secure this title.